Hello, welcome. My name is Alyssa. This is my channel of New Direction, and this is a reading for Leos, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, any crotch watchers in between. Cross watchers, not crotch watchers. Oh my gosh. One of my favorite readers always says crotch watchers. So every time I say it, it just seems to come out, but it's cross watchers. This is a reading for November, and it's kind of like really like what you got November, like what's in store. So I've already pulled the energy, some energy cards just on the energy that we're kind of moving from and the energy we're moving into, and then we're going to pull some tarot as well. So let's get into this. So the energy, Leos, that you are moving from was financial constraints and deceit. And the sandpiper spirit here, be playful, was the energy as well that came out with this. This is the energy I really feel like where, for some of you, financial issues could have been kind of on the forefront. Like the cupboards may have been bare, things may have been looking empty, and that the deceit kind of energy here with that, this is the low vibration kind of devil energy of this deck, and this is really like that energy of just feeling like those low vibrations are constantly weighing on you. Like these are energies that kind of go hand in hand, if you ask me, right? Like when the cupboards are bare, when financially things are really tough within our lives, it's very easy for the devil and the low vibration energy to kind of come in and try to trick us, to really like add that kind of level of negativity, to our world and to our lives. And the energy here of the sandpiper was so, I kind of thought it was kind of cute because, it's this be playful energy, it's like, don't get so caught up and consumed in the bare cupboards, it's really important that we don't get caught up in just making the financial aspect of life happen. There's so much more to it than just making sure that, we're constantly making money. The energy that you were moving into, this was really cool, was the door to personal healing and happiness, angel of love, contract, and horse spirit. Freedom is yours. This is a beautiful energy to be moving into for November, Leos. This is the energy where I really feel like this doorway to personal healing and happiness is something that, for a lot of us has been, kind of like it's been something we've been working to all year long, and that door to personal healing and happiness is going to look different to each one of you because, this is really like it is a collective reading. So you need to apply it where it fits. But those doorways to healing and happiness come in many different aspects and many different layers of our lives. The angel of love comes with it because that doorway to healing and happiness, it opens that doorway to love. It allows for the energy of our heart to express itself in a healthy flowing manner. The contract here, I love that. For some of you, there could be contracts going on. There could be, certain kind of situations that are playing out now. Maybe you're, being asked to kind of step up and step into some certain roles here. And I feel like this is really just the energy of aligning yourself to the contracts in life that serve your soul, that you can serve with love and happiness, where you don't serve them out of obligation and out of resentment, but where you serve them from a place of how do you even say that? From a place of, I don't know, healing, right? Like that you can give to these, you can give to whatever contract may be at hand here, but because that doesn't necessarily have to mean like just 3D contracts of this world. The contract card to me a lot in this deck often comes out as soul contracts, and the things that we kind of like align ourselves to, those are really beautiful energies. So here, guys, I really love this energy of the horse spirit. Like, now, mind you, I am partial to horses, my Leo friends, but like that freedom is yours. And this is really the energy that you're moving into. And I think once you move into this doorway to personal healing and happiness, you will have that better understanding that freedom is yours. And coming from this energy, for some of you, you could still be really fighting some of these low vibration, dark kind of energies that are holding you stuck in your barren cupboards, right? Where you're like, why the hell are my cupboards empty? Where's that door to personal healing and happiness, right? But freedom is yours. All right. We're going to use light seers. No. Yeah. We're going to use the light seers here for you guys. All right, so we're going to pull 3 different lines. We're going to pull kind of like the emotional energy, the spiritual energy, and then the energy of the actions needed, all right? So our emotional energy here is the Sun, which is you guys. Wow, the Sun, the Knight of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. Wow. You know, this is really the energy, that emotional line is really the energy of where like you're opening yourself up to happiness, fulfillment, abundance, joy, right? Like you're moving yourself in the direction of this deep personal Nine of Cups inner healing. Let's pull the line for the spirituality here. The energy of the spirituality, 8 of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. That's beautiful energy. And the actions here, what is the energy of the actions needed for the month of November here for the Leos? 3 of Swords. Wow, the 7 of Cups keeps coming out in a lot of these zodiac readings actually that I've done so far. And that's interesting. And I really feel like that 7 of Cups is almost like that choice of self-will here, right? Like where you can watch readings like this again and again and again, but the choices kind of are always going to be yours, right? It all depends on which cup you choose. Okay. All right, let's get into this. So this emotional line here was the Sun, the Knight of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. And as I was saying, I really feel like this is where you connect to the emotions of what are sparking your fulfillment, what are sparking your inner happiness. Okay, the Sun card is one of your cards here. Okay, so this is really where I truly find that you kind of embrace that deep level of emotional fulfillment within yourself here. You know, it's as though you are feeling this forward movement to just like push yourself forward here. Look at that. The Sun got the 10 of Swords. This is really where I feel, you know, this emotional energy too. November is this month there, and I don't know necessarily, October was a huge month with, you know, 2 full moons, you know, the blue moon just passed, Mercury's coming out of retrograde today. Like there's this energy of November, guys, is really this kind of like aha dawning, you know, it's like this embracing where we keep continuing to come through this shitstorm. And this is where all of a sudden things really start to shift, you see? And the Sun here was clarified by the 10 of Swords because you've walked away from something had to be left behind, whether that was relationships or work relationships, friendships, whether that was thoughts, whether that was patterns that you've done in your lives. This is a decision where you acknowledge you've done the thinking process and you know within your mind, you know, and in your soul, like that you have to go forward, that what was behind you, it's done, it's over. Okay. In order for you to embrace this happiness, there has to be an ending. Okay, and you have the clarity there. I feel like that. Very much so. This Knight of Swords, let's get a clarifier here for this Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords got the 3 of Cups. I keep saying that today, the Knight of Swords gets the 3 of Cups. You know, and this is kind of that energy of where you're moving towards a new beginning, I feel, Leo. You're moving towards a connection, towards some sort of fellowship here. You know, and for some of you, it could be new love, but for some of you, I really feel that this is it's that moving towards that emotional connection to something beyond just yourself. You know, it's where you've embraced this fulfillment of self, and now it's like, okay, I'm moving towards the fellowship and the connections that I need, because you're doing this, right? The 9 of Cups. That wholeness, that fulfillment of self is happening within this emotional kind of line for this month. Look at that Chariot, clarified by the Chariot. Your emotional fulfillment comes because you have acknowledged that there needs to be a change in the direction in which you are going. Okay, this is where you take control of your life, of your destiny. You align yourself to happiness, to what fulfills your soul. Okay, the 10 of Swords with this Sun was where you were like, okay, that wasn't making me happy. What I'm walking away from wasn't making me happy. I'm walking towards the sunshine, right? Like the Knight of Swords, you're walking towards the fellowship. What a beautiful emotional line here. This spiritual line, you know, and this is actually, sorry, we're going to pull a moon card actually. Take time to breathe out, right? And that's so important. Take time to breathe out. The decimating moon, and that's kind of the moon actually that we're in right now, with the full moon ending. That decimating moon is like that. Okay, just allow things to be. Don't get so worked up and overexcited, you know, thinking that all of this change and this processing needs to happen. Take time to breathe out, okay? Wow. All right, the spiritual line here was the Eight of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. And this is really the energy where you acknowledge your worth. You step forward and acknowledge that you are no longer the victim here, okay? Look. You're out. You're not sitting. You're not the reflection in the mirror. You're the one looking at the reflection in the mirror. So where here do you need to find the inner strength? Where here do you need to find the self-worth that you are no longer the victim, right? Once we can accept our worth, you know, we are able to then accept the cups of opportunity that are for us. But it's very hard to accept cups for us when we don't feel we are worthy of those cups. Okay? The Queen of Pentacles after that, because this is listening to the intuition. This is making those tangible footsteps to connect yourself to the direction that your soul is asking you to go, that spirit is guiding you to go. Okay? This line of spirituality here, I really feel, is this acknowledgement to self where you can be like, you know what? Some of this, like, this is where you step up. This is where you, look at that. Oh my gosh. This is where you step up and you own the healing that has to happen. You own who you are in this Eight of Swords. You own that you are no longer this trapped reflection, that you are in fact the lion within inside your soul. This is another one of your cups. This is where you come forward from being limited by your beliefs or society's beliefs or whatever's holding you back. And you come forward into being who you are. You step forward, Leo. Become you. You're not a victim. You're not. Okay? What people have said and, you know, what people have done to dim your light, that's on them. That's a reflection of them. That has nothing to do with you. Their perception of you is none of your business. Okay? It isn't. See all these people back here? This girl doesn't give two shits. Okay? She doesn't. She knows her worth. She's holding on to it tightly. Okay? She's not about to let people just run all over her and use her and walk all over her. Nay, nay. No, absolutely not. She blocks out the bullshit. She blocks out the hate. She focuses on the light that's within inside her. And this is really where you need to connect. In order to listen to what it is that your soul is guiding you to do, you need to connect to that light that's inside of you. You need to focus on your worth. Okay? Stop blaming others for you not being able to find your light. Okay? You can't do that, because when you blame others for not being able to find your light, you're giving them the power. You need to step up and take the acknowledgement of that light for yourself. Okay? You're not the victim. Ace of Cups. Let's clarify. Ace of Cups. Oh my gosh, yes. Because the opportunity here is the death and rebirth. The opportunity here is to let go of what isn't going to serve you. Okay? To let go of the old patterns. To actually embrace this whole cup with a full brand new beginning. Letting go of what hasn't served you. Letting go of that victim mentality. Embracing that you are worthy of healing. You are worthy of happiness. Okay, you are worthy of abundance, of great relationships, okay, of plenty, of full cupboards, whatever that is. You are worthy of this cup. Open yourself up to see that you are, right? Allow the death and rebirth process to happen. From the ashes, the phoenix rises, right? Queen of Pentacles, the Fool. Because this is where you just begin to actually make the steps that you need to make. You listen to your intuition and you put the steps in, you take that step every single day you show up. It's not it's not fast, okay? It isn't, that's fine. But it's steady, it's committed, okay? It's prosperous. Leos, don't be afraid to grow. Don't be afraid to leap off. You know, don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. Trust your intuition. I promise you, it's not going to fail you. If you can truly connect to your intuition, if you can put your ego aside and listen to that soul-led journey that is calling you, I promise you, you'll be on a great path. You really will be. Your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. And a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. For some of you, you know, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a new relationship, but for some of you, this can really be where you have done a lot of self-healing work. Okay? You've done a lot of, you know, self-evaluations where you maybe have looked at where you were maybe, you know, kept putting yourself in the victim role. Where maybe necessarily you didn't always necessarily need to be in the victim role. You just weren't stepping up into your power. You weren't stepping into your strength. So therefore, by not stepping into your strength, you were allowing yourself to be a victim, right? If we choose not to step in strength, then that's fine, but that's our choice. Okay? That doesn't mean somebody has made us a victim. That means we chose to not stand up for what we should have been standing for. Okay? And I mean, that happens. Like, you know, you can't go and beat yourself up. Like, that happens. The energy of this action needed here. Look at that. The first one out was the Three of Swords. And this is really where, you know, you release. Like, I feel almost like this is the energies needed is address the pain. What is it that makes you feel like you are stuck and chained like this girl, that your heart is like literally strung out all over the place? What makes you feel like there's pieces of you? Why do you feel so broken? Why do you feel so pain-stricken here, right? There needs to be peace. There needs to be connection here. Okay? You need to have faith. You do. You need to have prayers. You need to have hopes. You need to have dreams. You need to have desires and wishes. You need to have something to look forward to move past this. You can't be focused and stuck and think, this is it. This is all I'm ever going to have. No. Temperance was after the Star. There's a need here for balance. There's a need here for balance of your spirituality and the action within your life. Okay? And there's a need here for the choices, to evaluate the choices that you are actually making, to evaluate the cups that you are turning over. Because again, just kind of like this Eight of Swords, right? You can't be a victim if you're not making a choice at all, right? If you refuse to choose, then that's your choice. Let's see what this Three of Swords is. Can we clarify this Three of Swords, Spirit? Three of Swords gets the Ace of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. You know, this is kind of, this Three of Swords is like this passionate kind of beginning. I feel like this is the healing. You know, this is kind of like that outlook, that inspiration where you're like, you know what? I actually think I know how to go about this, you know? And look, seeds planted in the dirt. Do you dig up those seeds every time you plant them to see how much they've grown every day? No. To me, this is very much the energy here. The action needed is that you've put in the steps to do the healing. And by putting in those steps and by continuing to show up to put in those steps, you know, by continuing to like make sure that you've done that kind of deep soul healing, you know, and you've done the work, you begin that process of like, okay, I've planted pentacles. I've planted new seeds and now I'm going to, you know, allow them to grow. Now there's this new beginning of opportunity growing from that heartache, okay? But you chose to do that. You chose to grow from that, okay? That's a choice you have to make. That's not something that just comes. And it's not something that, you know, when you watch readings like this and think, oh, well, I watched that. That's how that's going to be. No, if you don't choose to actually align yourself to those steps of growth, then you will continually repeat the Three of Swords. Let's get a clarifier on this Star. The Star gets the Lovers. For some of you, you know, there could be this need of really having, it's kind of funny, right? Because this new romantic cycle begins. And for some of you, you could have been, you know, it might not even, again, it might not be a new relationship. It might be a relationship that's coming back or something like that, you know. But to me, I really feel like these answered prayers, you know, it's like this, you're praying for this kind of lovers on the other end of it. And I'm kind of getting the sense after this whole reading, Leos, that there might have been kind of that codependency of others here, where you've really struggled to come forward as this whole kind of being, as a whole being on your own, right? where it's almost like you needed those connections to others to feel whole. Your cupboards were empty when you didn't have that other person to connect yourself to. You know, and that is an energy where we oftentimes will then feel like the victim, right? Because if we need somebody else to make us feel whole, then when we're by ourselves or we're having to do our self-reflection, we're stuck, we're stranded, right? I very much feel like this answer here, like these answers of these blessings, they kind of very much to me come in as like the love that you are seeking. You know, if you're looking for this new romantic partnership, the love you are seeking will come in after you find that love within self, after you find this within your own being, after your divine masculine and your divine feminine within yourself can actually form this partnership, this duality. Okay? It's not about a codependency. Love is not codependency. Love is about wholeness. True love is about being whole. And we need that for our own self-worth. We need that kind of whole, filling love for our own souls. We do. I cannot say that enough. Temperance. Temperance gets the Four of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, you know, and the Temperance is really where you find the balance and the patience in life. Okay, it's really where you begin to trust the process of just what needs to happen. You know, the stars need their time to align, right? The Four of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, you know, this is the energy, right? If you're constantly bummed out about the cups that are always spilt, you will always forever miss the opportunities that are right beside you. You know, this is the energy where you change your focus. You allow yourself, just kind of like this infinity symbol here, right? See? You allow yourself just like this in this Six of Pentacles. You must be open to the energy and the blessings that surround you. Don't be so focused on cups that got spilt. Don't be so focused on things that you thought, oh, you know, that should have been mine. That should have been for me. Open yourself up. Look at do the self-evaluation. Acknowledge the energy that you are putting out there. If you're putting out low vibration, lacking energy, you're not going to ever feel fulfilled because you're constantly putting out those energies of low vibration, right? You're constantly pouring into the universe the energy that you feel that you're lacking, and therefore you can't feel whole when that is the energy you're giving out. What you give out is what you get back. See, Seven of Cups here. Seven of Cups gets the Moon. This is where the options and all the cups before you, you know, and you might not be able to see what is beyond those cups, but this is where you need to have the faith, where you need to listen to the divine so that you are confident in the cups that you are choosing, so that you don't get stuck in this phase of like not being able to make a choice one way or another. Are you going to change or are you not? Are you going to grow or are you not? Right? Remember, there's a difference between like destiny and free will, okay? Destiny changes all the time because free will is constantly, like it constantly plays a part. Get a moon card here for the energy of the actions. It's time to release negativity. Yes, Leos, it is. It is time to release yourself from any sort of toxic, low vibration energy that seems to just loop in your life. Okay, clear it out. Get rid of it. You don't need it. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. That's beautiful. All right, we're going to pull another moon card here just for the divine masculines. Let's get a moon card here for the divine masculines for the month of November. Remember, it doesn't necessarily need to be a masculine. It can be talking about the action side of your life. Hold your vision, fixed moon. Hold your vision, and nothing will come of this situation. You know, and this card is such a funny card because it has two very opposite meanings. You know, and yet I heard one of my readers, my favorite readers yesterday, and she described it, and it was a very good, clear way actually that she described it. And she was like, you know what, it's all going to depend on where you are at in your growth, on how you interpret this card, because it has two very distinct different meanings. One, nothing will come of this. You know, that means there's no fear to come. Like there's no energy of fear here because there is nothing harmful that can come of this. And the other one is really nothing is going to come of this situation. So, right? Like, so see, depending where you can sit as a being, you're going to look at that. If you have work to do, you're going to panic and be like, oh my gosh, nothing's going to come of this. And if you've done the work, you're going to be able to look at this card and be like, it's all right. I don't need to worry. It'll be fine. There's no energy of there's no energy of fear coming here, right? As if I hold my vision, right? All right, let's get one here as well for the Divine Feminines. Expect a powerful change. New moon eclipse, and look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. Wow. Expect a powerful change and look at the bigger picture. Holy smokes, Leos. What a beautiful reading. Let's get an untethered here for the Leos as well. You must go through the darkest night in order to get to the infinite light. What we call darkness is really the blockage of light. Well, Leos, that was a very beautiful reading. Take great care of yourselves in this month of November. Bye now.